Thanks, Colton, for being with us today at JesusPeepsMusic.com. We talked to you a little bit earlier about our passion for the east side of Indianapolis and the high crime there, and what we're trying to do through literacy, through book drives and things like that to make an impact, especially this summer. And we know that you have a heart for people. You're a devout Christian. Your music is beautiful. We love it. We really we value that a lot. Jesus Peeps does, and so we just wanted to ask you a few questions today to share with it's mostly teenagers that come our way, and they value you too more than you may know. Your music is great. Like I said, we love you. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and they're not difficult. If you could, and these are from teenagers, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I think I would want to fly.
Yeah.
Just because every little boy wants to know what it feels like to fly.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I'm still kind of a little kid. So.
Have you ever had an experience, with stage fright where you just kind of locked up, man, and you were going out there and you had that experience where you didn't know what to do next, and maybe you called on the Lord or something to get yourself back in order? Tell us about that, and if you did, what did you do to get yourself back in order?
Yeah, man, the first season that I tried out for American Idol, it was the last round that I was able to be a part of. I was singing a song called Stop and Stare by One Republic, and man, I had never heard the song before. I had a couple days to learn it. For the life of me, I could not remember the words. I went out there and did a practice run and forgot the words in the middle of it. It was just a wreck. So stressed out. That's why my hair's so white. No, but man, I was just stressing big time. I remember walking out there, walking on stage, and I couldn't even remember the name of the song. I was so stressed out. I turned around at the guitar player and said, "What song am I singing?" He looked at me and he's like, "You're kidding, right?" I was like, "Please help me." And he said, "Stop and say," I was like, "Okay." And then from then on out, I was praying like a sweaty dog, and somehow I got through it. Yeah. Remembered all the words, and all was good. But man, I hate those last minute. Learn a song, perform it in front of Jennifer Lopez, Steven Tyler, Randy Jackson moments.
A lot of pressure.
But a lot of pressure. But man, I got through that, and that was totally because of the Lord. Calmed me down. After I started going, I realized that I obviously wasn't the one spitting out the words. It was Him giving me the words, and so I was like, okay, I'm letting go, and I'm just going to let my mouth move, and it did. And
wonderful.
Yeah.
So just say that you wouldn't have pulled yourself together, that day, and you dropped the ball and you didn't make it, and you didn't make it through. What do you think you'd be doing right now if you didn't get that break, if you will?
I would probably still be pursuing the same thing. I was actually a worship leader for my youth group before American Idol happened, and man, I miss being a part of that. Those kids were great. But honestly, I would probably be doing that and still pursuing this ministry that I've got going on now. Been coming to Winter Jam for a long time, so I've always thought it'd be really cool to be part of it. Really believed in what they've been doing the past few years, and it's cool to be here. Really, really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, I'm sure. So, tell us about your hobbies. What do you like to do when you're not, on tour?
So I've been told by a bunch of other people touring is my hobby because apparently I should go into the ping pong industry. I'm kidding. I really enjoy playing ping pong, but honestly, most of the bands out here, we do ping pong to kill time. We get angry with one another, then we make up and love one another. It's great. But, ping pong, man, I love to skimboard on the beach. When I'm at the beach, I turn into a total beach bum. Really excited. I'm heading there after this tour, actually, so I'm excited to get some beach time in and enjoy that. And but yeah, man, I like movies too. We sit on the bus and watch movies pretty often. I'm pretty much an average 22-year-old kid when it comes to that kind of stuff. So.
What about your love life? You have one, or do you have time for that? Or
man, it's always hard to balance a relationship with this. It's crazy. I have been dating someone over a year now, and so thankful for her. It's just nice to get off the road and have someone to talk through this crazy life that that has so much fake involved with it. What I mean by that is so many people telling you what you want to hear versus what you need to hear. There's so many people telling you that you're great or you're awesome or whatever, and God didn't design us to hear that all the time. He's the one who truly deserves that. So to have someone there to remind you of that is awesome, to keep you humble, and she does that very well.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, with all the bands that you're traveling around with right now, I mean, who's your favorite? I mean, who do you listen to, or who did you listen to?
It's funny. I've always been a TFK fan. 1,000 Foot Crutches. My gosh, I'm definitely a heavy rock guy. So really enjoyed hanging out with them, writing a little bit with Trevor, and that's been great. Always been a Newsboys fan, even when Peter Furler was in with them. And of course, a DC Talk fan. So getting to hang with Michael has been amazing. But I could say every person on this tour. I could just go on and on and on. They're all such amazing people. We're wrapping this tour up next weekend, so it's going to be mostly bittersweet, and going to miss these guys a lot. Hopefully, we'll get more opportunities to hit the road together. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed hanging and getting to know these guys.
Yeah. Great. One more.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier with Revive the East Side, we're in a room with the mayor and all the bigwigs, if you will, in the city, and they're trying to figure out, what do we do here? How do we make an impact on this thing, And so there were a bunch of different leaders around the community there and everything, everybody throwing in their ideas and everything. And I was talking to another person from Jesus Peeps and said, hey, what do you think we can do? And that's where we came up with the book drive and everything, which we're off into that thing. It's my belief that if a person realizes the true love of God, how much God actually loves them, right? What he did for them, how much he truly loves them in their heart. If someone knows that, they're a lot less apt to go out and, if you will, commit sin or do some of the crimes that they do or whatever and get involved in the things that they're in. How do you feel about that? I mean, about the love of God itself, being the answer, to the whole problem at the root. Do you have any input on that? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God obviously showed us love by sending His Son to die on the cross for us, and that's something that I think most of us, we can't even really comprehend that kind of love.
Yeah.
Just to think about that blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? But God called us to have the same kind of love that He shows us to one another, and I think that's really the issue. I think that there's so many of us kind of either pointing a finger at someone's chest or telling them about Jesus, not introducing them to Jesus, and not walking out that love. To me, action speaks so much louder than words all the time. So, I mean, I could go up on stage and say anything I want to about Jesus, but if I go backstage and they see me backstage doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, it's all for nothing. So I think that people like you guys and even us as bands and people in ministry, we have to be extra careful and do things on purpose. I was just out with Toby Mack, and he said that you can either give life or take life in an encounter. There's no neutral exchange. So you're either motivating somebody with something or you're draining them. There's nothing in between. Doesn't matter if you're ordering a coffee or whatever. And man, that motivated me.
Yeah.
It's like, God, I want to be so in tune with what you're doing that you are rubbing off on me and on other people. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have. They're so excited to tell people about Jesus. You can know all you want to about Jesus, and that's not going to save you. So action speaking louder than words. That would be my input. And getting in the middle and getting to know these people who maybe don't know the Lord yet, and just maybe it's not saying anything about the Lord, just kind of leading by example. That's really all I tried to do on American Idol. Wouldn't try to be preachy at all, and God opened the right doors to say what I needed to say, yet not be preachy. And man, it's so cool, even to this day, to see people sending in letters or Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, just saying, man, thanks for taking a stand or whatever. I mean, that's what it's about.
It's really good, Colton.
So, yeah, I really, really wish you guys luck. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely excited to see what you guys do.
Thank you. Colton
Yeah.
Dixon, 2014 Winter Jam.